Welcome, everybody, to the European recap and predictions time for Week 5. Very important week, obviously. The most important because it's the last week. And we can end this miserable European season. I kid partially. We're here. We're going to recap Week 4. Again, thank you to Kdence for letting me play the all goals video that he makes for the Rlcs. And he gets it out pretty quick, like usually an hour or two after it's over. So if you ever do miss the action, not a bad way to catch up to go check out these vids. So go check out Kdence. Again, it'll be in the description below. But let's get this show on the road. Mouse Sports. The Chiefs had some words for Mouse Sports this week. Not pretty words. Definitely their offense was not clicking. They weren't really doing a ton on the offensive side. But they got the wins where they needed to. Complexity actually looked okay. They actually scored 4 goals in a game. And I love the stat of it was the first time that they scored more than 2 goals in a game all season. So that was fun. And then they scored 22% of their season goals in this series alone versus Mouse. Not the greatest sign for Mouse, but they still pull out the win. And Complexity definitely looked like a real team for the first week. So that's good. But Mouse Sports, they clutch it out once again. Another Game 5 victory. And they move into first place. So well done to Mouse Sports. A little bit sketchy, but hey, you know, what are you going to do? Veloce versus Barcelona. Oh, sorry, guys. I got to reconnect my controller here real quick. Sorry. All right. Come on, man. Veronica. I don't know if it's a controller disconnect. I don't know if he just double jumped incredibly quickly. I don't know if it was like partially both because like his controller spazzed out. I don't know. But come on, man. That can't happen. That can't happen when you're 12 seconds left. Veloce, man, holy hell. I don't know what rabbit's foot they're kissing. It must be like Bugs Bunny's rabbit foot or something. I don't know. They're getting lucky a little bit here or there. First, we had that dig series back in week 1 where Yukio belly flops on the ball to set up Freaky to do whatever he wanted. Now we got this series. Like, I don't know what's happening. Don't take Veloce to 5 because something weird is going to happen. We're going to have like an earthquake next time that it goes to 5. Someone's going to lose power and Veloce is going to win. I don't really know. Veloce comes out on top. Barcelona looked good at times. Veloce looked okay at times. It was a close series. There's definitely 2 teams that are very, very close. Just came down to one weird play, man. I don't know. There's not much more to say there. I just, you know. Anyway, let's move on. Reciprocity versus Complexity. Reciprocity is like, this is kind of what I expected from them a little bit. Not really in this Complexity series. Like I thought it'd be a little bit closer because Complexity showed up a bit more against Mouse. But nothing has wowed me from them. Like I get it. They're like close to the top of Europe. And I still think they are probably number 2 in Europe. But they haven't wowed me at all this season. They haven't really shown that like, hey man, we're a dominant team. It's just been kind of lackluster. They do at least put up some decent offense at the end of the series. 5 goals and then 3 goals in Game 4 and Game 5. But I don't know, man. It's just been... I don't know. It's just been a little bit flatter than I would expect from Reciprocity after their offseason. I was a little concerned because I thought the 2 tournaments where they played the best were the 2 least important tournaments that we've had in 2019. Because one was 2 weeks after the World Championship. A lot of people, you know, like a little bit more carefree, a little bit more like getting ready for a vacation. And the other one was Beyond the Summit. They played in the basement. So I was like slightly concerned, but I still thought they were, you know, a solid team. I just haven't seen it. I need them to sell me on why I think they can make a World Championship run and go for the title. I just haven't seen it. But they win 3-2 over Complexity. Mouse Sports 3-0 over Dig. Oh, boy. Dignitas. Guys, if you wanted to nap, this was probably the series. Problem was, it was a very quick series, so you were going to get a short nap in. Dignitas just can't find any offense, man. I'm still waiting. For this Astral to show up that we saw in the offseason that was pulling off insane plays. We haven't seen it. Yukio, he hasn't scored since week 2. Von Pan is trying his best here, but I don't know what's going on anymore. They can't get any offense going whatsoever. They score 1 goal in this entire series. But to be fair, Mouse Sports, they only scored 4 goals in this series. So I don't really know what's going on. Achieves is very mad. Mouse Sports didn't really do anything throughout the series either, but they got the wins, right? And sometimes that's all you need is plan B to work out and get the wins. And they're in first place, but it wasn't pretty. Definitely wasn't pretty compared to the week prior where Mouse Sports offense was, firing on all cylinders. So we'll see which Mouse Sports we get this week. But Dignitas, they don't even have cylinders. They're freaking like Fred Flintstone right now trying to run versus, like a 500 horsepower, some car. I'm not good with cars. So it's been bad. It's been bad for Dignitas, and I don't know what's going on. Speaking of offenses, TSM's offense finally showed up for a week, partially because Veloce looked like shit on defense. It was pretty bad from Veloce, and finally Veloce, he was like, all right, I'm finally going to pick you in a series. This is the first time I picked him the entire year, and they do this. Like, what happened? And that's the problem with Veloce, is like, if they are not playing mistake-free ball, they're going to get smacked around. And that's a major issue. TSM just took it to him. Freaky, miserable defensive performance in that game 3. And you expect better from Veloce at this point. Maybe they're just memeing on me because I finally picked them and they're like, fuck it, let's throw this game. But I'm bad. I'm kind of like Europe, like at this point is still like, I got nothing for you, man. I got nothing. Like, if I was power ranking right now, I think Vitality's the only one in like top 5 for power ranking. Like, it's pretty rough. Anyway, whatever. Vitality, terrible week last week, but they bounced back, and that's what we expected from Vitality. You can have one bad week, whatever. That's fine. As long as you bounce back right after. And Vitality, they did. They just completely dismantled Rec. It was like not even close. Sure, there was like a 1-0 game in there, but they were dominant the whole way through. Vitality, looking pretty strong. Probably looking to clinch a top 2 spot. As long as they don't blow it again this week, but it's Europe, and who knows what's happening here. That was a really nice play by Bluey, though. So give him that. Bluey's still looking good all season. Vitality comes out with the win. And yeah, let's move on to predictions. Top 5 in EU are Vitality, Mouse, and the top 3 rival series teams. I don't know, man, anymore. Like, I think Rec is still a pretty good team. I would still probably put Rec number 2, but it's just so, like, inconsistent and, like, kind of flat right now. Maybe it's because, they're all so good against one another, it, like, makes them play worse. Maybe that's the case, but I don't know. I just haven't seen it lately from Europe. But anyway, let's move on. Let's go into predictions. Okay. TSM versus Dig. Absolutely huge game. If Dig loses this, they can basically kiss their playoff chances goodbye. If TSM wins this, they lock up a playoff spot. I don't know who to pick here. Because TSM, like, the one thing that Dignitas has going for them is they play really good defense, really, like, safe defense. The problem is they can't get any offense going. Oh, Ronicky. Ronicky. That's 2 series now that he's cost them, by the way. Back in week 1 when he just beaned a save in game 5 and they lost 1-0. So that's 2 series on Ronicky. Anyway, let's continue. TSM Dig. So Dignitas defense, relatively solid. They can't really get offense going. TSM finally had a little bit of offense, but realistically, their offense is alpha most of the time, except for last week, which who knows? Maybe that continues. I don't believe in TSM just yet. I think that this series is going to be 5 games of 1-0 ball, and it just comes down to who makes the last mistake. I'm going to give this to Dig. Because I do think that their defense holds up a little bit better. Like, it's going to be, can Alpha penetrate the Dignitas defense, or can Dig force out some of those really costly TSM defensive mistakes that they had in the previous weeks. And I think Yukio is finally going to score a goal, mostly because TSM is going to do something weird on defense and just give them a wide open net. And I think Dignitas wins this in Game 5 because Yukio finally scores. That's what's going to happen. I don't have faith in either of these teams right now, but I'm going to give it to Dig 3-2. Complexity versus Barcelona. Complexity looks like an actual RLCS team now, so I'll give them one win. But I think Barcelona will win this. If Barcelona wins this, they clinch a playoff spot. Barcelona's a weird team, man. They're 2-4 with a +1 game differential. That's insane. I think Barcelona's a better team than their 2-4 record shows, as long as Ronicky... Maybe they need to bench Ronicky in Game 5s. I'm not really sure, but just don't go to Game 5 and then you're fine, Barcelona. So Barcelona will get the win there. TSM versus Vitality. I think Vitality's the best team in Europe right now. I think TSM is going to get worked here. 3-0 for Vitality there. Mouse versus Veloce. I think Mouse is better than Veloce. Depends if their offense shows up or not. It also depends if they are making mistakes or not. See if Veloce will capitalize on those. But I think Mouse will still win this. We'll go 3-1 there. Dignitas versus Vitality. Again, Vitality is the best team in Europe. I'll give Dignitas one win just to make it a little bit more interesting. But I think Vitality takes that one. And finally, Mouse versus Reciprocity. This is basically for a top 2 spot. At this point, according to my records, Vitality would have clinched a top 2 spot. I'm going to give this to Rec. I'm going to give it a 3-1. I think they've been a little bit flat, but I think overall I would trust them more than Mouse to take this series. Because they're still solid. It's just like, I just want them to, be like 9.5 out of 10 instead of like an 8 out of 10. While Mouse can kind of fluctuate. Like Mouse can be a 4 out of 10 to like a 10 out of 10. I just think their average is probably like a 7 compared to Rec's like 8. So I'm going to give this to Rec, a 3-1. But we'll see what happens. See, look at Complexity, man, with these passing plays. Look at that bar down ski right there. They're looking okay. Rival Series teams probably have to fear them now. The only problem is if they're like, well, someone's getting kicked after this season, I don't really care if I win promotion tournament. Like, I think that's always been a big flaw in our system is like, say a person knows he's getting kicked. There is literally zero incentive for them to help that team stay in the RLCS. Like if they know they're getting kicked, and who knows what's happening here, and usually things change, but like there's zero incentive. Like I always thought that if like a team qualifies for the next season of RLCS, that half of the money that you make in league play should go to the current roster of this season, because, and then the other half can go to, the 2/3 is obviously like they'll get full pay, but if they swap someone, they should only get half pay, just because like. Technically, when you are in league play, you are guaranteed money. And technically, you guarantee that money in the previous season. So that's why I'm always like, kind of weird, because there is literally no incentive if you know that you're getting kicked to win that series. But whatever. Let's go over to our playoff scenarios, and we'll see how this all works out. So a 3-2 for Dig. A 3-1 for Barca, a 3-0 for Vitality, a 3-1 for Mouse, a 3-1 for Dig. Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, these games are a little out of order. It's actually TSM and Dig for the Vitality games will be flipped, by the way. So Vitality will play Dig in Game 3, and TSM will play Vitality in Game 5. So just keep that as a note going forward. And then 3-1 for Rec. So let's see who's in. Wow, look at that. I didn't actually mean to do this. I didn't plan for this. But here's what it looks like. Vitality, first place, 17-9. With an 8-game differential. Reciprocity at 5-2. +5 game differential. They tie Mouse Sports at 5-2 with a +5 game differential. Which means Reciprocity gets it because they just won the head-to-head. Then we got Veloce, 4-3, gets the 4th place spot with -1. Barcelona, the 5th place spot with 3, a plus game differential of 3. And then Dignitas at -5, 3-4, ties TSM at 3-4, -5. But again, Dignitas won up here in Game 5, so they would make it in. TSM would go to promotion relegation, and then Complexity 0-7 would also be there. So 2 ties on this side based on my predictions. And again, Veloce, they squeak into that 4th spot, so they get the 2 tries at a World Championship spot. It'd be Mouse versus Veloce. Loser of that plays the winner of Barcelona Dignitas. And honestly, I would fear Barcelona coming into these playoffs if they do make it, which they probably should. They just got to beat Complexity next week because, like, again, they've been so incredibly close in a lot of these series. And then when they do win series, they smack teams around. So Barcelona is definitely going to be scary. They can't get a top 4 spot, but whoever's in those top 4, like if they lose and then, if you run into a hot Barcelona, I would be worried. But here's how my playoff scenarios work out. But yeah, simple as that. Easy peasy. Europe's been wild, man. Europe's been wild. I do feel like they've been a little bit more inconsistent than you would expect out of some of these teams. But at the end of the day, if you make playoffs or if you make top 2, that's all you need. And then, of course, at Worlds, they're just going to be like, we'll send one of our teams into the Final 4, and then they'll just beat everyone. That's just how it works. But we'll see how Europe pans out. But again, here's what I have here. And yeah, that'll do it for me for the Week 5 predictions and Week 4 recap of Europe. Say bye to YouTubes for the chat. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Sunday for the European show. Again, I'll be doing playoff scenarios the entire day on my laptop. I'll let you know what your favorite teams need right before their games. We'll also do a little bit in the pre-show. The pre-show, so there's so many playoff scenarios that the plan in the pre-show is to only show playoff scenarios where teams control their own destiny. Just because literally there's way too many to show. So we're probably going to show those, but then in the pre-games for these teams, I'll go more in depth of like what they need to do. 3-1 here, 3-0 here, or whatever. Like, this helps them more, yada, yada. But that's the plan. So, come watch the shows. Come watch some fun Rocket League. It's going to be a good time. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.